Hey trainers, this is Shannon from the Trading Card Trove. In last episode, Alanna and I finished our set of 5 games. Marnie's Grimsnarl versus Steven's Metagross. I went 4-1 on Marnie's Grimsnarl, but today, the tables turn. We start our next set of 5 games, and I'll be on Steven's Metagross, and Alanna will be on Marnie's Grimsnarl. Can I help Steven get his revenge, or is Alanna gonna lead Marnie to new victories? New to the Pokémon TCG? This is the perfect video for you to watch some gameplay and learn the mechanics. So pull up a chair, grab a snack, and let's get into the battle. So if you're new here, I'm pretty new to the Pokemon TCG. I've been playing for maybe 3 weeks. Alanna started about a week ago, so we make mistakes here and there. I don't know if I made any misplays in this game, so if you see anything, let me know in the comments so that I can learn and get better. We shuffled our decks and then drew 7 cards to start the game. We each have a basic Pokemon which we put in the active spot, which means that we don't have to take mulligans. If you draw your first 7 cards and you don't have a basic Pokemon to play, you can take a mulligan by shuffling those cards back into your deck and then drawing 7 new cards. As you can see, I have Steven's Baltoy in the active spot and Alanna has Marnie's Scraggy. I went first, so on my turn I attached a Psychic Energy to Baltoy, and then I used Buddy Buddy Poffin, which lets me find 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less to put on my bench. I pulled 2 Beldums out of my deck to put on the bench. I really want to try to start getting them ready to evolve into Metagross by getting some energy on them and setting them up. I know that once Marnie's Grimmsnarl's out on the playing field, I need something that can take those hits, and my Metagross is the only thing that really can do that. After that, there's nothing else I really want to do with my hand, so I pass my turn to Alanna, and she starts to look at her hand and plays an Ultra Ball, which allows her to discard 2 cards and search her deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, so she has to show it to me, and then put it in her hand. I think this is one of the best cards when you need to find a Pokemon because it doesn't have any rules about what type of Pokemon you can get. You can get a basic Pokemon, you can get a complete evolution, you can have a Pokemon with a rule box, it doesn't matter. Alanna ends up getting an Impidimp because she probably wants to get her Grimmsnarl rolling. Alanna attaches the energy for her turn on the Impidimp and plays Iono. Iono has each player shuffle their hand and put it on the bottom of their deck, and then they have to draw cards for the amount of prize cards that they have left. In this case, we both have 6 prize cards left, so we both draw 6 cards. And then to continue her sequence, Alanna plays Buddy Buddy Poffin, which allows her to look for those 2 basic Pokemon. She grabs a Morpeko and another Impidimp, and I'm starting to worry. Alanna is not done with her turn. She attaches an XP share to the Morpeko so that if her active Pokemon gets knocked out, she can save one of those energies and attach it to the Morpeko instead of sending it to the discard pile. One Buddy Buddy Poffin was not enough for her this round, and she goes back in the deck to find another Morpeko and another Impidimp. And now she's got a full bench, and I have 2 Beldums. I got some feedback on the last video that you guys might want to hear some actual conversation that's happening while the game's going on. So in our next Pokemon episode, we will have that. I ordered some microphones, so Alanna and I can be mic'd up so you can kind of hear some of our thoughts as we go through the game. And sometimes Alanna says really funny stuff, so you can hear that too. I add another Baltoy to my bench because I really want to have a Claydol on the field. It won't be able to take much damage, but it can do a pretty heavy hit if I get enough energy attached to it. And frankly, I don't think that Baltoy in my active spot's gonna last too long. I play an Iono, shuffling our cards, putting them on the bottom of our deck, and drawing 6 new cards because we each have 6 prize cards. I find a Claydol in my new cards, and for some reason, I evolve my active Baltoy. Looking back, I think I should probably evolve my benched Baltoy. To end my turn, I use Claydol's attack Eerie Light, which costs 1 energy and does 20 damage, and then confuses Scraggy, which is why we turn the card upside down. When a Pokemon is confused, the player has to flip a coin before performing an attack from that Pokemon, and if it's heads, the attack will work normally, but if it's tails, the Pokemon actually does 30 damage to itself, and the attack doesn't happen. Alanna attaches a second dark energy to Impidimp, which means that when it evolves into Grimsnarl, which just happened with the rare candy, it will be able to attack with Shadow Bullet. Now that Impidimp evolved into Grimsnarl, it can use its Punk Up ability, which allows Alanna to search the deck for some energy cards and attach them to her Marnie's Pokemon in any way she likes. She attaches one to Scraggy and puts the rest on Morpeko. Morpeko does more damage for the more energy cards attached to it, so she's definitely setting him up for later. She plays the trainer card Drayton, which lets her look at the top 7 cards of her deck, reveal a Pokemon and a trainer card, and put them into her hand. She pulls out a Morgrim, which is Impidimp's Stage 1 evolution, and another Drayton. I don't know why she doesn't decide to evolve one of her Impidimp this turn. I don't think she played both of them this turn, but I could be wrong. I'm tired when I'm recording this, so I could have missed it. Let me know in the comments. She pays the 1 energy to retreat her Scraggy and bring up Shadow Bullet, so basically my Cladle's dead. See? Dead. Kicking myself in the butt here for choosing to evolve the active Baltoy instead of the one on my bench. I should have seen this coming. I put a 30 damage counter on one of my Beldum because Marnie's Grimmsnarl's Shadow Bullet does 30 damage to a bench Pokemon, and I don't have my card bank out to block that damage. I choose to promote my healthy Beldum, not the one with 30 damage on it. Not sure if that was the right play, so anyone watching, if you have an idea if that's what I should have done or not done, let me know, please. I play Drayton. We know what that does. I get to look at the top 7 cards of my deck and get a Pokemon and a trainer. Real quick, if you like this type of video, just make sure you press the like button. It really helps me out, and it lets me know if I should keep doing stuff like this. But to be honest, I'm going to keep doing stuff like this. So like the video and subscribe so you can see more. I end up finding a Metagross and another Drayton to pull out of my deck. I spend my energy attachment for the round on Baltoy by attaching that psychic energy. I use Switch to switch into my Baltoy. I'm not sure why I did this here. I think this was a mistake too. But this is my first time playing this deck, and I'm not really sure what's going on. I use Summoning Sign on Baltoy, which is why I pull out those 2 Pokemon. I put them on the bench by accident. I don't know if you saw that, but since I got those Pokemon using Baltoy's attack, I can't put them on my bench until the next turn. Alanna attaches another Dark Energy to Morpeko, so God knows how much damage it can do right now, and then plays a Drayton. She pulls out another Impidimp and a Boss's Orders. She'll have to put the Impidimp in her hand because she doesn't have any more room on her bench. I'm guessing she just took it out to thin the deck, so she doesn't pull it later when she doesn't want it. Alanna just evolved her Impidimp into Morgrim and then uses Shadow Bullet to attack my active Baltoy. I promote my Beldum and add Carpink and Skarmory to my bench. I'm realizing now that Alanna missed 30 damage that she could have done from that Shadow Bullet. She didn't attach any damage to my bench Pokemon that round. Oh look, I play another Drayton. Whew, you know I got something cooking because I pull out that rare candy. And I also pull out a Metang, which is Beldum's Stage 1 evolution. The rare candy, though, will let me skip that evolution and go to Metagross from my Beldum if I have a Metagross in my hand, which I do, and I evolve my active Pokemon to Metagross. I use his ability X Boost, which I can do every turn to attach a Psychic Energy and a Steel Energy from my deck to attach to either a Psychic or a Steel Pokemon. I attach both to Metagross so that I can use Metal Stomp on Alanna's Grimmsnarl. I'm just wondering, do you guys play any other TCG games? Alanna and I also play Lorcana, and I'm going to release our first gameplay video on Thursday. So if you're interested in learning a new TCG game, or already like Lorcana, make sure you swing by and check it out. Subscribe so you don't miss it. It took me a really long time to decide where to put that energy, but I ended up putting on Beldum and then evolving him into Tang. Then I finally metal stomped that Grimmsnarl. Alanna definitely has the hand advantage this whole game. As you can see, I have 2 cards in my hand and she has, I don't know, 7, 8. And it stays that way pretty much the whole game. She's really good at holding on to her cards and planning when to use them. I'm still getting better at that. I'm a little impulsive and it's hard for me to think a few steps ahead sometimes. But the more I learn the deck, I think I'll get better at that. Alanna plays Spike Myth Gym, which allows her to search her deck for a Marnie's Pokemon and reveal it. Assuming she's looking for Grimmsnarl. Yep, there it is. She evolves her Stage 1 Morgrim into her Marnie's Grimmsnarl. And now she's got 2 Grimmsnarls on the board. She uses Grimmsnarl's Punk Up ability, but is only able to find 2 dark energy in her deck, which gives me some hope that maybe I can make a comeback. We shall see. She attaches the 2 energy she finds to the Grimmsnarl, so now if that Grimmsnarl ever becomes active, it'll be able to perform the Shadow Bullet attack. She uses Shadow Bullet on my Metagross, which normally does 180 damage, but since I have Card Bank on the bench, it's reduced by 30, so I put 150 damage onto the Metagross. Not liking what I see in my hand, I play Iono, so I'm able to draw 6 new cards. Alanna's only able to draw 4. Luckily, I find a Steel Energy in my new cards, and I'm able to attach for turn. I then discard 2 cards so that I can use Ultra Ball and find Metagross. I use the Metagross that I just found in my hand to evolve my Metang. I also throw another Beldum on my bench, because why not? I use my Metagross's X-Boot ability to find a Psychic and a Steel Energy and attach them to my Pokemon. I get my first 2 prize cards and tie up the game by knocking out Marnie's Grimmsnarl with Metal Stomp. Alanna promotes more Pekko, and it's fully charged, 7 energy attached. That powers up its Spiky Wheel attack to a massive 300 damage. But I've got Carbink on my bench, so thanks to its ability, that damage gets reduced by 30, bringing it down to 270. Still, I know my active Metagross is a goner. It's already sitting at 150 damage. There's no surviving the hit from more Pekko. It's now Alanna's turn, and I'm wondering what she's going to do. I thought she might just attack right away to finish off my Metagross, but instead she surprises me. First, she evolves her Impidimp into Morgrim, then plays Super Rod. That lets her shuffle any combination of Pokemon and basic energy from her discard pile back into her deck. This is actually a huge play, because if you remember, Alanna had completely run out of energy in her deck. The Super Rod could be the reset she needed. She knocks out my Metagross for 2 more prize cards, and just like that, she's down to 2. I promote my Metagross because I know he's the only one that can do enough damage right now to take out more Pekko. I have to be careful because it already has 30 damage counters on it, and if this Metagross gets knocked out, I lose the game because it'll give up the last 2 prize cards. So let's see what I do here to try to fix that. I play an energy recycler, which lets me take 5 basic energy from my discard pile and put it back into my deck. I'm not sure why I do this, because I really don't need energy right now, and it's just a matter of time till I lose. But I guess I'm just practicing playing my hand. I drew for turn turn and got XP share and attached it to my Beldum. Again, if the Metagross gets knocked out, the game is over. So I just played it to play it, and we'll see what happens. I knock out more Pekos, so I'm down to 3 prize cards, and for a second I have a glimmer of hope. Maybe I can win the game. Alanna promotes another Grimmsnarl with 2 energy attached, ready to go out of the game. We're nearing the end of the battle, and I just want to say thanks for being here and hanging out. If you're enjoying this, and if you've learned anything from this, or anything at all, just make sure you give the video a like. It really helps the algorithm push this video out to other people. And I'm just trying to spread the love of the Pokemon TCG, guys. Alanna plays an Ultra Ball for the first move of her turn. She discards, I think, a rare candy and maybe an Impidimp. Finds another Grimmsnarl and evolves it, so now I'm feeling very hopeless. But at least that Grimmsnarl doesn't have any energy attached to it. Dang it, she uses the Punk Up ability on Grimmsnarl to take some energy out of her deck, which we know she has now because she used Super Rod to put it back in there. I know I have some time to try to make a play because Grimmsnarl does not one-shot my Metagross here, and I'll be able to take 1 or 2 more turns. I attach a Steel Energy to Skarmory, though 1 energy is not enough for him to do anything, and then I stare at my hand wondering what to do. I use an Ultra Ball and discard the last 2 cards in my hand. Not sure who I'm looking for, not sure if it'll help, but I'm just practicing playing the hands I'm dealt. I evolve Beldum to Metang, though Metang is still not strong enough to be able to withstand a hit from Grimsnarl. I decide to attack with my Metagross and do 200 damage to Marnie's Grimmsnarl. It's not enough to knock him out, but I know my Metagross can survive 1 more hit from Shadow Bullet, and I'm just trying to get to my next turn. Now my active Metagross is sitting at 10 health. It has 330 damage on it. It's my turn again, and I'm trying to figure out what I can do to save this game. I know if my Metagross gets knocked out, Alanna wins, so I use a switch to bring in Skarmory, hopefully to sacrifice just 1 prize card and give me time to evolve Metang into Metagross. This was a pretty good plan, but Alanna has an answer for it. She pulls out Boss's Orders, which allows her to switch my active Pokemon. She brings out Metagross and Shadow Bullets for her last 2 prize cards. So Alanna grabs her first one with Grimmsnarl, but hey, I think I held my own with Steven's deck. I'm already looking forward to the next game. I really think I can help Steven get his revenge and bring his score to 2. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next battle. It's gonna be a good one. I'll catch you on the flip side.